Ho, 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 everybody. Welcome to another edition of NasCard Radio. This is episode 114 of NasCard Radio, where trading cards and racing meet. I'm your pal Val. With me is the amazing Jason. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing okay. Glad to be back. Of of course.
Glad to have you. And then the man, the myth, the legend, PSA, and White Castle Hall of Famer, Logan. How are you, sir?
I'm Bubba-rific.
That's awesome. We have a super fantastic, amazing show today. Into race recap, we had few winners, and well, actually, we're all winners, but we had the end of IndyCar. We are going to talk about some hobby headlines, some news, a lot of stuff going on in the hobby with, and there might be ramification for cards, and then King's Court. So like to thank our sponsor, Panini America, maker of the best NASCAR trading cards.
Yes.
Let's get to it. I know time is money, so let's get to it. Camping World Truck Series race number 19, Kansas Speedway. That was the inaugural Kansas Lottery 200. That was Friday, September 9th. John Hunter Nemechek was our winner. Highest finishing rookie was Corey Heim at position 7. It was good to see John Hunter in the winner's circle there. He was mentioning, like, I guess this season hasn't been the best for him, but, winning there in the playoffs is definitely a big help. So,
Yeah, he won all the
I don't
stages. He won everything.
yep.
I don't like him.
Yeah.
His name doesn't fit.
he's Hunter Nemechek.
Oh, somebody's got a notification there. Okay, so
That was me.
his rookie cards, 2016 Panini certified. With all the amazing mirror parallels in 2016 Panini Certified. Also, certified potential signatures as well with the different mirrors. In 2016 Panini Prism, no base cards, only Fire Suit Fabrics and Fire Suit Fabrics Team. If you believe it, and there are a few parallels to each of those. There are Panini Prism signatures with driver signatures, no base cards, like I said, but the different parallels back in 2016, like the unnumbered base, the green, blue, red, rainbow, gold, the 10, camo, the 8, white flag, the 5, black, 2, 3, and checkered flag 101. Oh, I love me some checkered flag. And then 2016 Panini Torque, he does have base card there with all the different parallels, and then the printing plates and test proofs, which are 101s. And then with the 2016 Panini Torque combo material signatures, which are pretty cool because there's only two versions of that, a red and green, numbered to 49 and 25. So, but John Herneuchek, I think maybe this could be his year.
It could be. He dominated for sure. After the race, did you see where he was talking about that it's been like a tough week? I think he knew already what was going on with KBM and the fact that they're probably going to be going to Chevy instead of moving away from Toyota. So I think he may have taken that news kind of hard. He said it'd been a tough week for him.
I thought somebody was talking there, and it kind of implied like maybe John Hunter was going to move up to maybe Xfinity or whatever. So again, they had the foresight of knowing what was going on. So I was trying to piece it together when he was mentioning it on the broadcast. So, but then our highest finishing rookie, Corey Heim, we've talked about him before with the 2022 Dunruss and the Signature Series cards. But now with the release of Panini Chronicles, he's also included in 2022 Panini Chronicles. He's in the clearly Donruss with the different parallels to that. There's an unnumbered version, and then the other parallels are 100 or less. So also in Chronicles Magnitude, same base card, and then all parallels 100 or less. So it's pretty interesting that these parallels are numbered to 100 or less. So very desirable. The Obsidian base, and then there's only a few parallels to it, and they're numbered 10 or less. So these things are going to be tough to find for him. The Obsidian signatures unnumbered, and then 25 or less as well. He's also found in Chronicles Pinnacle with the base and then the numbered to 199 or less. Pinnacle autographs unnumbered, and again 25 or less for the autographs of that. And then select no autograph. Well, I know there's autographs in select, but my list doesn't show it. But um, the parallels for it as well: green, hollow, which are unnumbered, and then blue 199. Everything's less than that. Red, purple, gold, and gold vinyl.
Yeah.
So I think he's maybe one to watch there in the future. So again, as rookie, maybe in rookie of the year for Truck Series.
So check it out. I can read John Hunter Nemechek's name. It's fixed magically.
Yes.
Trial and error.
And not only that, I noticed in Victory Lane that John Hunter Nemechek, he probably needs to go visit Dr. Pimple Popper.
I didn't look that close.
He needs to go. He needs to go visit.
Well, I'm sure with the heat of the car and everything else
Yes.
going on. So.
Oh yeah, you know it. They're sweating, and yes, no doubt.
All right. Let's see what else in my notes for the Truck Series after Kansas. The drivers looking to miss the playoffs around the four: Stuart Friesen, Ty Majeski, Grant Enfinger, and Christian Eckes. They're below the cut line. Our next race number 20, three more till Phoenix, is at Bristol Motor Speedway. And that is going to be Thursday night. So when this show drops Thursday night, Friday, that race will have been completed September 15th at 9 p.m. So we're going to get some racing here Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. So
Yeah, and hoping for no rain.
hey, don't say that. Okay. We won't talk about that. Xfinity Series race number 25 for that 22nd annual Kansas Lottery 300. That was Saturday, September 10th at Kansas Speedway. Noah Graskin was our winner. Highest finisher rookie was Sheldon Creed. It was almost a mirror of last week. And Sheldon Creed was position 11.
Yeah, I hate that race got rain shortened, but it looked pretty bad on the radar.
And Noah was pretty happy about it.
Yeah.
Even with the makeshift victory lane in the garage. So, but then we've talked about. I won't go into a super great deal with No Gaskin. You can just check last week's episode. But 2017 Dunruss signatures, 2017 Panini Absolute. He has a base card there, as well as signatures. No signatures. Oh, in Absolute here. If I look at the thing, but there is autographs in 2017 Panini Select, and then Panini Torque, also signatures. So 2017 for Noah Graskin. And then Sheldon Creed, just see 2021 Panini Chronicles everywhere.
Yes.
And then, what's that?
That's all I'm going to say is yes.
National Treasures, you got a few there, as well as Prism. Again, a ton in Prism. 2 cards with the card number 56, and then the variation of him holding the trophy, and then all the parallels for that. So Uh, just a ton of Sheldon Creed autographs as well in the Prism autographs and endorsements. So one more race before the playoffs in Xfinity, and that's going to be at Bristol Motor Speedway. That's the Food City 300, and that's going to be Friday, September 16th at 7:30 p.m. Stages for Bristol Motor Speedway: end of lap 85, 170, and 300.
Yeah, the Bristol night races are always the best races of the year. I can't wait for them.
Looking forward to that little short track bump in there. Cup Series race number 28. That was the 22nd annual Hollywood Casinos 400, presented by Barstool and Sportsbook, and that was Sunday, September 11th, Kansas Speedway in Kansas City. Our winner was Bubba Wallace, and highest finishing rookie was Austin Cindric at position 12.
I was really proud for Bubba. He dominated, or not dominated, but he pulled away in that last segment towards the end. He clearly had the best car.
Well, those Toyotas, boy, Bubba Wallace first, Denny Hamlin second, Christopher Bell third. Alice Bowman was the breaking that up for fourth, and then fifth was Martin Truex.
You know, the crazy statistic is of course Kurt Busch won in the 45 car in Kansas
Yes,
earlier this year. Now the 45 car wins again with a different driver. Do you know when the last time that happened?
remind me. I know it was. I can't. I knew it, but I forget it has left me since then.
1972. It was the car number 21. It was the Wood brothers.
Pearson
AJ Foyt
and,
wins.
and
AJ Foyt wins the Daytona 500, and
was it Pearson
Pearson wins the Firecracker 400
at at
Daytona.
Daytona? Yep.
Yeah, so that's the last time that two different drivers won in the same car number in the same year at the same track. If that makes any sense.
I just want to know because obviously you seem to have a lot of knowledge of this stuff. Are these things that you're looking up, or is this like I know this right off the top of my head?
I knew it, but I didn't remember the year. I had to go
Gotcha.
look up the year.
Yeah, I can't remember if I've heard it or saw it on Twitter, or they were mentioned in the broadcast or something. But because some of these things, NASCAR was different in '71 than it is now. So to have it now during the modern era is very interesting. Again, it's something like this where Kurt Busch, because of the concussions or concussion and not making past the concussion protocol, that he can't drive, and then you have a replacement for him. So
Yeah, it's like what you said back in the day. The drivers were racing for money. So, like David Pearson was always going after the big money races. I mean, I don't think, I mean, back when he won his championships, he was running a lot of races. Of course, he had to win. I mean, run a lot of races to win the championship. But he just basically just wanted to win money to feed his family. I mean, and that's what a lot of them did back then.
well, I was going to say you're definitely right. Fred Lorenzen comes to mind,
Hmm.
where he wasn't racing for a championship. He was going to the big tracks to win the big money. No sense beating up a car on the short track
Hmm.
when you can make the big money at the big track. So again, they weren't racing for championships; they were racing for the money, and that's why the Hall of Fame looks at the older drivers different than they look at the newer drivers.
Absolutely.
Yep. So Austin Cindric, Bubba Wallace, his first cards are 2012 Press Pass Fanfare card number 79. I think that's a young gun. There's a few parallels to that. Anything numbered is low: 25, 20, and 5. There's a hollow foil die cut and a blue foil die cut. Those are not numbered. And then the Young Guns autograph silver to 399, gold to 150, red to 75, and blue to 10, which is kind of low when you think about that's his only card in 2012. In 2014, he's got about 11 cards. 2015, 21 cards. 2016, 100 cards. That's when Panini started. So it doesn't look until about 2018 he had 315 cards. Even in 17, only 80 cards. So not a lot of cards for him the first few years. So
Yeah, I was happy for him. He was like doing this, like now y'all can hush your mouth because it wasn't rain shortened or wasn't any kind of circumstances behind it. He legitimately went out there and whooped the field.
that he did. He
I'm,
held
I'm
everybody off. So
I'm proud for him. I really am. I'm so happy for him.
Austin Cedric, we've talked about him quite a bit this season as the highest finishing rookie. 2018 Donruss Phenoms, 2018 Panini Certified base card there. There's also the different parallels. 2018 Panini Prism, only signatures, scripted signatures. 2018 Panini Victory Lane, there's a base card there with parallels, and 2018 Panini Victory Lane signatures for Austin Cedric, who's having a really good rookie season.
Yeah, he's going to be the rookie of the year, no doubt.
No arguing there. Exactly. Next race number 29. It's going to be at Bristol Motor Speedway, the Bass Pro Shops NRA night race, Saturday, September 17th at 7:30 p.m. Stages for Bristol Motor Speedway. For Saturday is going to be end of lap 125, end of lap 250, and end of lap 500. That's a lot of laps.
It goes by quick though when they're
Yeah.
not crashing.
Yeah, when it's not a crash fest. Exactly. Since we're in the playoffs, we're moving through. I don't know if this is a cut race or not, but Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, Chase Briscoe, Kevin Harvick on the outside, Austin Cedric's holding on, and Tyler Reddick holding on to those last two spots. We'll have to go back and see, but it looks like you picked most of these guys at the bottom there to not make it, but we'll see.
I want to give a shout out to Jason about Kevin Harvick because he picked Kevin Harvick not to make it, and Kevin Harvick crashed. He's pretty much in a must-win situation this weekend. If he doesn't win, he's going to be out. So way to go,
forgot
Jason.
about that.
Yeah, well, Jason's been doing this show here for the last few years, so I think he's dialing it in now. He's
Yeah, because I didn't
As
see
much
that
as I don't know, maybe some of that, soaks in here and there.
definitely. Yeah, so some of them are in a must win, so we'll see how that shakes out. So even with Chase Elliott with his bad start, he's still in position 720 plus 28 points. So let's move over to IndyCar Series. That was their season finale. That was the 2022 Firestone Grand Prix of Monterey at the Weather Track Raceway, Luna Seca, Monterey, California. That was Sunday, September 11th. Our winner was Alex Palou, but the winning the battle, winning the war? The war was won though by Will Power. So Alex Palou was our winner. He does not have any trading cards. But our season champ is Will Power, who finished 16 points above Joseph Newgarden. So that was quite a race. They were keeping track of the points to see who was going to be the winner. So
yeah, they were doing like they do in the Cup race. If the race ended now, it's like the race is not going to end now. Just don't even say that.
exactly, yeah. But Will Power, I think we've talked about him before. Uh, the bulk of his cards are in 2012, but he has a few before that. The 2005 Formula card number 198, those are the ones that came out of the magazine. The 2006 Portland Grand Prix, there's no number on it. And then the 2008 Indianapolis 500, I think those were available like on an uncut sheet. But then Press Pass did a card for autographs for him in 2012 Press Pass Legends. And then 2013 Press Pass Legends card number 32, a base card with the parallels, printing plates, uh, pieces of history memorabilia, and then Press Pass Legend autographs in 2013 as well. So he does have a 2020 Upper Deck Goodwin Champions card. There's 3 cards in that set. There's parallels to it, and then some autographs. So I've seen those out on ComC. They're not very expensive, so you can get your a Willpower autograph for like $3 or $4.
Yeah, that race was, it was okay. It wasn't. It was exciting, but it wasn't exciting. I like the track. I like the little corkscrew where they come around and go down. I thought that was pretty neat. That was a good passing zone for a lot of people.
Some of the elevation changes, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That would really going over those things at that kind of speed, but you got the downforce. That's still, I can only imagine how that makes you try to come up out of your seat. But they're strapped down, so I guess they don't really feel it.
Yeah, so that's the end of IndyCar for this year. So I know one person will be upset. Ken will have to collect some Dale Earnhardt senior cards and some of these other things. So until IndyCar pops back up.
Yeah, it's going to be a long off season for those guys.
Moving over to Formula One, that was the Grand Prix of Italy at the Autodromo Nazionale Monza. And that was Sunday, September 11th. Max Verstappen was our winner. I think he started P8 or something like that and came up through the field. Second
Mm-hmm.
went to Charles Leclerc. Third, George Russell was our top 3. Max Verstappen increases his lead in the points championship. I believe the next race is the Singapore Grand Prix. Originally on the schedule was the Grand Prix of Russia, but because of what was going on, they pulled that race. So they're off until October 2nd. That's going to be 8 a.m. And that's the Marina Bay Street Circuit. But I guess with a win, Max Verstappen can clinch the 2022 championship there, which I thought
That's
was,
incredible.
yeah. So again, he's 116 points. Charles Leclerc is in second with 100 minus 116. Sergio Perez minus 125. And just to give an example, Verstappen got 25 points for winning that race. So that's pretty impressive considering last year, went down to that last race. So, and again, this is that was race 16. I believe that this year is going to be 23 races. So still got a ways to go.
Yeah, it's kind of like the good old days when Dale Earnhardt would clinch like 3 or 4 races early.
Yeah, it's not as exciting when
No.
they run away with it like that. So
And of course, they were in Italy, and of course where Ferrari is based out of Italy. So tons of Ferrari fans there, and you would have thought Ferrari would have brought their A game, but again, they just didn't have it. I mean, they started out okay, but once Max got up there, it was game over.
yeah, they yeah, between Charles Leclerc and George Russell, and I think it ended up under a safety car, and there's a controversy about that. But Leclerc was moving up, but it was if he was going to have enough time, because I think he had newer tires. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I know Ferrari was wanting to finish well, so at least they got on the podium. And George Russell, he's been on the podium quite a bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis, let's see when Hamilton finished fifth, so um, but George has been getting the podium finishes here, so
Yeah, George is doing a lot better than Lewis Hamilton has this year.
yeah, he's fourth in points, and Lewis is in sixth.
Well, I think he's had all top five finishes or more, except for that one race where he went out early this year. I think he's done real well this year. He's been very, very consistent.
Yeah, we've talked about Max Verstappen's cards here for the last few weeks, but 2020 tops. He has a few cards before that. 2016, the tops trumps, and then the 2018. But the bulk is going to be in. I think there's 435 cards in 2020 tops Chrome with the different parallels. There's about 13 cards and one image variation. He also has a tops now card with a print run of just over 4,000. I wonder if that's maybe a little sleeper. I did see that on ComC for about $27. So I've been thinking about maybe picking one of those up because we know about the Lewis Hamilton card number 3. Even though it's come down in price, it's still desirable card. I think that print run's almost a little less than 2,000. So um, I know your thoughts, Logan, on the Max Verstappen 2020 Tops Now card.
Well, it seems to have stabilized. PSA 10s are like right in the $500 range right now, or maybe they're even going just slightly lower than that. But we've talked about it before. That card back, what was it, about a year and a half ago, was close to being a $5,000 card. So it has dramatically dropped in price.
The Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah. What do you think about the Max Verstappen?
I think it's underpriced right now.
I think that's card number 23. And like I said, its print runs at 4,047. I think, like I said, I saw it for about $27. I think there might be an opportunity long term for that because, $27, $30 is not a lot in today's market
No,
for
it's not.
those. What do you think, Jason?
I'm the opposite. I think I don't want to say it's a fad, but I think the tops now thing will kind of run its course a little bit, and um, because it's not that people are very picky about what's a rookie card during the rookie year, and there people have so many rules with rookies, but they let stuff slide, for later years, and I think it'll not like fizzle out completely, but I think we're kind of at the bottom. I don't think it'll go much lower, but like I think it will not be considered the same as like some of his other 2020 stuff because it's not the
Okay.
mainstream out of a pack.
All right. That's a good segue to say hi to Victor, rookie card aficionado. And of course, I wonder how far Herman's gotten on the mower. So he likes to listen to the show and mow the yard. So shout out to Herman.
Wonder if he's on a riding lawnmower and he envisions himself as a NASCAR driver while he's listening to the show. Wonder if that's why.
I don't. Maybe that's right. I don't know. We'll have to ask him about that. So, also finishing up with Max Verstappen, he has Dynasty cards there. Also, official F1 top stickers. There's 11 different stickers in the 2020 top set. The tops Turbo Attacks Formula One. There are 12 cards and 3 limited edition cards in Turbo Attacks Formula One 2020.
Val, I'm going to make a suggestion. I think you need to take one evening and record these people's rookie cards, because there are certain ones that we list every single week, or very often, and then you can just hit a button and then it'll just play. Because there are guys that are on repeat, and like we always talk about 16 certified, but there are certain people that it's like every other week. You're just
Yeah, I need to create a little video and just play the video. But all right, some takeaways here for the show here. So uh, I think that's all I have for the racing recap. I know we have a bunch of news. Silly season is in full gear. I think there's opportunities in the card market for some of these. Some of these maybe you need to think about selling. Some of them might need think about buying now, buying in the off season. I don't even. And then we have um, product news as well. So I don't know what guys how you want to jumble it. Where you want to go first? You want to talk about? I know we got Prism news. I know we have Kyle Busch moving, which does a whole domino effect of stuff. So
I say start out with Kyle Busch.
all right, so major news this week is the worst kept secret I think in the industry is that Kyle Busch is leaving Joe Gibbs Racing and moving to Richard Childress Racing, which he's moving from Toyota to Chevy that we know of. I don't think Richard Childress would leave Chevy. He's been with Chevy for a real long time, but um, and what kind of is really interesting. So that there's really no vacancy next year at Richard Childress because Tyler Reddick is there in 2023, but he's leaving in 2024 to go to 23XI. I believe to probably fill in with Kurt Busch retiring. Um, so there's no really slot open, which was surprising. But I think Richard Childress was very upset with the way the Tyler Reddick deal went down because I remember them saying that Richard Childress didn't get a lot of notice before Tyler Reddick and 23XI announced it. But then this Tuesday, when Kyle Busch was announced, I heard the audio of Richard Childress saying that about an hour before the announcement, he let Tyler Reddick know that they were doing it. And not only is he coming to Richard Childress Racing, he's running the 8 car, which Tyler Reddick is currently running. But it's like, hey, uh, Kyle Busch will be running the 8 next year, and you'll be in another car. So it seems like I don't know if this is somewhat a payback or what, but it's very and Logan, you can chime in here. Very unusual for something like this to happen.
It's extremely unusual. That was a pretty good dig by Richard Childress. You have to admit. So I think what you're going to see is I think you're going to see Tyler Reddick go to the 29 car. I'm sure that Richard Childress still has that number, so it'll probably be the 29 car. I'm looking for that car to probably be an R&D car for Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch. So we may see a lot of crazy stuff coming out of that car this year or this next year.
Right. So okay, so we know it should all be the same, but we know it's not. So we have Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch, and let's just go with the 29 car, Tyler Reddick. Who's the number one car? Who's getting the most money? Who's getting the best pit crew?
That's a good question.
It's not going to be Tyler Reddick, right?
It's not. No, it's not going to be Tyler Reddick. But you've got
He
the
just got knocked
grandson.
down, right?
You got a grandson, and then you've got the greatest driver currently in the series. So what are you going to do? If I'm Richard Childress, I'm going to give it to Kyle Busch,
Right. And then Austin Dillon.
and then Austin Dillon, and then
Tyler Reddick
Tyler
gets
Reddick
those
can just
scraps.
go do whatever he wants to do with himself.
Yeah,
Is,
so it
is
does not seem good for Reddick for next year. And this is only my opinion is that maybe he has a buyout and that they don't want to do that and give that money to Tyler to buy him out of his contract, and so they're going to fund the team and let that happen.
But
So that's
So,
good.
Joe Gibbs was having a hard time. Supposedly, this is what we've all heard. Joe Gibbs supposedly had a hard time finding a sponsor for Kyle Busch since Eminem's Mars is leaving. And so, how is Richard Childress going to find? I guess he's going to find sponsorship for all three teams. I mean, it's going to cost him a lot of money to fill the car. He's got to pay the pit crew, mechanics, the shop, all the things that go with that. And that's millions and millions of dollars right there. To me, it almost seems like it would be cheaper just to buy out Tyler Reddick's contract and say, just hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. But I don't know why. And it all might change, between now and the beginning of next year. We don't know.
This could be a big poker match and see who blows first.
That's true. Very true.
So, Tyler might break it on his side, knowing that he's going to be destined for this other deal. So, we won't know until we know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
so
could be a bluff on Richard Childress's side because
Right now,
he
it doesn't cost him anything.
yeah, and then Tyler Reddick might say, "The heck with this! I'm just one out. I'm out of here."
Right.
So
And then
pull this into cards.
Okay. Yes. So we
So
have.
there are scenarios.
Mhm.
So and those scenarios are, I'll let you go through
Well,
them.
let's go with Tyler Reddick. So Tyler Reddick's
Yeah,
being
and
kind
that's what
of
I'm talking about. I'm talking
yes,
Tyler Reddick scenarios right now.
yeah. So
So what do
Tyler
we have?
Reddick is basically he's got I think 2 wins this year.
Right.
So I don't know. He's kind of going to be in that realm where I'd be really surprised if he gets a win next year or where he's at. So card wise might be now the guy is super talented. I think when he gets to 23XI,
He's
it picks back
younger.
up. Oh yeah, then
Right.
I've talked about him before just briefly that in Xfinity he won with Joe Gibbs Racing. Joe Gibbs. He won with Junior Motorsports. They let him go. He went to Richard Childress and won another championship back to back with two different teams, which I said before is really impressive. So the kid's got a lot of talent. So this might be a time to buy on the dip, and then he'll be back, the next year. So it's a little bit of a
Hmm.
buy and hold at the bottom. So again, it's like, what have you done for me lately? But it's like, we think he's going to be in really good in Toyota.
So there's a chance he could, and granted, all there's 1%ers and there's 100%ers in here. So like, there's a chance he could race where he's at. There's a chance he could sit, and then there's a chance he could get bought out and go early. So let's say that there's three main scenarios. In my opinion, he's a buy because he's young. He has some wins. He's up at the top, near the top. But is he a buy now with the news? Is he a buy in the 22-23 off season? Is he a buy next year because he might sit? Like when is peak buy time for this guy?
Well, I guess there's different scenarios for different ones. So if he sits, then
But you don't know until what a
right.
few
But
months from now.
I would say definitely look at him in the off season. Right. So
Yep.
start just kind of looking at his prices, and then something that you can again, is it something rare? Is it some of the base stuff?
Right.
Whatever. But
Graded.
I always
Yeah.
like the off season. Really doubt he will sit. He'll be racing
Same.
somewhere.
Yeah.
He'll either be racing for Childress or he'll be going to 23XI early. We had the whole thing with Kurt Busch. Does Kurt Busch retire after this year and not run next year? And so they have the extra seat open. Again, there's a lot of different things. But long term, I think he's going to be in good shape at 23XI. Now, the other part of this is now we have Kyle Busch. Does this pump new life in the Kyle Busch cards?
It does.
and because now he's at RCR. I mean, I could almost see this, and this is probably blasphemy, but putting him in the 3 in a black fire suit, and he's like the next Dale Earnhardt on that team, boy. He's just, because he's got that personality where he loves being, I don't say hated, but
Well,
you know,
he asked Richard Childress about driving the 3, and that was not an option for that because that's Austin Dillon. But that would really be cool, no doubt.
but I'm waiting for somebody to do something, and maybe it's Childress, where the 18 and you wipe away the 1 or whatever, and then it's just left with the 8. That kind of thing. And again, you can put any of the sponsorship money or anything like that to NasCard Radio for that idea, but
Well,
because you going from 18 to 8, and again, maybe again, we don't know who the sponsor is going to be, but it's going to be another black car, or black and silver, like the old Davy Allison or something. Again, Joe Gibbs Racing had said that there was trouble getting sponsorship, and so I'd be curious to see who's going to jump in on that. So, but I think that we're spinning around to what Jason was saying, that I think there's opportunity for Kyle Busch because there's new life in his cars next year. And again, it's going to be, I mean, Daytona is going to be crazy with Kyle Busch and the RCR when they unveil that. We talk about like why they call it the Super Bowl of racing. They have all off season, new car, new color schemes, new driver suits. It's just going to be just, it's going to be awesome.
So the Fanatics will buy Panini, and then they'll sponsor that car.
There you go. Now, spinning on this now, so now we have a vacuum here, and so Kyle Busch is out on the 18. Who goes in the 18? Right? So is that Ty freaking Gibbs? So now there's an opportunity, for Ty Gibbs, and then Ty Gibbs is out in the Xfinity series. Who's going to fill in for the who's coming? Is anybody coming up from trucks to Xfinity? So we have a domino effect here. So there's opportunities. Not, I know there's more hobby news too as well. So that's an example of where there's some opportunities.
Well, going back to what you were talking about, a bump in Kyle Busch cards. I've been listening to NASCAR radio, and there are people that didn't like Kyle Busch before, but now that he's with Richard Childress, yes, we love him now. So there's going to be a lot more love for him. So I think that you're going to see his sales increase on his cards, and I think we're probably going to see a bump up on his cards because of this move.
And maybe to your point, this is a clean slate where he can start over. Maybe he's not the antagonist now. Now, one thing I thought was really cool is Richard Childress also signed Brexton to a deal
for $100 bill.
So he's got future rights to Brexton running at Richard Childress. But again, clean slate. And so one thing I was thinking about, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but Roush Racing was a powerhouse, but Roush had talent leave. Kenseth,
Mark Martin,
Art Edwards. So again, there was a slow drain out of Roush, and they are kind of not what they were. And Joe Gibbs has now turned into, the powerhouse. But I see Gibbs aging. Not Joe Gibbs, but Joe Gibbs drivers, right? So we have Hamlin that has, he has less days than he has more days. Truex the same way. The young gun is Christopher Bell, maybe in Gibbs. So they have, when I was thinking about this was Kyle Busch leaving after 15 years. Is this the start of the decline of Gibbs?
Well, talking about Ty freaking Gibbs possibly going to the 18, which again, listening to NASCAR radio, that seems to be the prevailing thought that he is going to go there, because they can get him. I won't say cheap, but he's going to be a way less expensive than Kyle Busch ever would have been. He's a fresh face. They'll probably be able to get some sponsorship for him just because of who he is. And, I think that you're going to see, I don't know if his card values are going to go up more because he's in Cup or not, because his card values are already up there. Do you think he gets a bump because he goes to Cup?
I think very little. I think some of that's already baked in to that
Yep.
that price, right? I know they see it in the stock market where stocks rise and they say, well, they've already baked in the interest rate hike or the dip or whatever it is. It's already kind of projected into that. And we see it in baseball and stuff like that and football cards where the rookies just all of a sudden shoot up and it's they already have them winning the Super Bowl or the World Series or whatever. So I think we see some of that with Gibbs. I think now if he does really well in Cup, I could definitely see that spike in there, but I think that might be kind of baked in, kind of like with Haley Deegan, right? It's kind of baked in her prices for her winning and stuff. So, but I think you say Brandon Jones is moving somewhere as well.
Yeah, he's going to JR Motorsports in the 9 car. He's
Phil for
taking, yeah, he's taking Noah Gregson's ride.
yeah, right. So, like I said, with the thing, G- Richard Petty, they're bringing Noah on in that 42. So definitely see, I think, a bump with Greskin moving up. His stuff, I think, is kind of definitely on the cheaper side. And then with Brandon Jones moving over too. So, and again, JR Motorsports has some really good equipment. But then he's leaving Gibbs as well.
Yep.
So that he's on a different path. So he's not, destined. Um, we got possibly either this year, next year, the next few years, Truex and Hamlin leaving, I would imagine. So
Yeah, Truex, I think he re-upped for 1 year. I don't. This may be his last. 2023 may be his last year. So now Gibbs is going to be looking for somebody for the 19 car. So I mean, the silly season is just going to compound itself from 2023 on into 2024. It's going to be these next few years are going to be crazy because we're going to see a lot of drivers. I don't think Denny Hamlin is going to retire anytime soon. He's still doing very, very well. But like I said, who knows? I guess it's really going to depend on how well Truex does this next year. If he wins a lot of races, he may stay again. If not, he may just say, "I'm out of here." It was a good ride. I won a championship. Everything's cool. So,
and then Jason, did you have news on Prism?
I had a couple more things about Kyle
Oh,
Busch, real quick.
yes, sir. Go ahead.
Sorry. Now that Kyle Busch is over there now that he's going to RCR, one of the things he talked about was possibly doing the double between the Coke 600 and the Indy 500. So that's now on the table if he can find some sponsorship. So that's going to be cool if he can do that. So I like that. Something else that caught my ear too is that they asked Kyle Busch uh, about what Joe Gibbs was talking about with the 18 car, and he said that it hasn't been this long ago that the 18 car was no longer an option. So apparently, Ty freaking Gibbs going into the 45 and now in the 23, he's seen potential in him. So I think that's where Joe Gibbs is going. I think that again that he can get him cheap, and that's what's going to end up happening. That's why the 18 car was off the table for Kyle Busch.
Well, just quick, Ty Gibbs has now had how many weeks of Cup experience,
Yeah,
and
and I think
who else would he get to? Who was that?
I think that disqualifies him for Rookie of the Year now. I think I'm
Well,
not sure how that's going to work.
yeah, I don't know if he's looking necessarily for that for that. Um, but who I was just thinking, who else would Joe Gibbs want to put in that car? Probably for that price with that experience. So I think it's just a no brainer. Not to mention, the Gibbs name. So
Yeah. So anyway, Kyle Busch had 56 wins in the 18 car for Toyota. Just throwing that out there. So that's what I've got for that. So do we? You say you want to talk about Prism?
We can do that. So I don't know because obviously I wasn't here last week, and I don't know if you guys touched on it or when it happened. Um, but Prism is on the Steel City Collectibles and the Blowout Cards website, but it's a very generic listing. Um, no box images, no packs, no descriptions. It's just Prism, four autos box or whatever it is, and no price, nothing like that yet.
Mm.
But it says the release date is September 30th, and I know we're already just shy of an hour. We still have a couple of things to do, but wanted to real quick touch on this, especially because there are the rumors of Panini being purchased by Fanatics, and nothing is on the calendar from October 1st on, I think is what it is for the rest of the year. So it's interesting that this popped up all of a sudden. There aren't any images. It's on two sites, reputable sellers. And then this whole Panini buyout or whatever. So what do you guys think? Is this actually going to be a September 30th release as it's listed? Or is it going to be pushed? I think before the show, one of you guys had said like November, maybe. This whole Panini purchase is weird. So it's kind of like we're guessing as much as anybody else is as to what's going to happen. But what I think is most likely. Like, there's no way they can have it in 2 weeks, right?
I don't think so because
No.
they don't even have the sell sheet, and usually Steel City or Blowout is really good about having the sell sheet. And the one I had sent about November, just using, even though it's tops. I think with Steel City had the sell sheet for Topps F1 flagship. I think it was slated for September. The date's now showing November 30th, but again, they had the sell sheet in which there's none up there for Prism. So there's I'd bet anything that that does not happen here in the next 15 days or whatever. So
No.
It's just weird that they would actually put a number date on it instead of a to be determined.
I think it just gets them, because there's no prize. I think it just gets them time to just kind of market. You would probably know. Uh,
Yeah, I was going to say being on the other end, to me, putting the date there opens it up to questions of, is this going to happen? Where's my purchase? Why is it delayed? Because there are experienced buyers and then there are brand new buyers that don't know that things get pushed back 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 months. So to me, putting that number date on it kind of opens it to, questions from buyers instead of putting a farther date and having it come sooner, you're putting a soon date and it's going to come later, most likely. And it's that, under promise, over deliver thing.
I was thinking, I was like, hey, they call, and you're like, well, we don't have it yet, but we do have last year's for you to buy. So
Did anybody see Sports Card Radio today?
I did
Yes.
not.
He talked about possibly, from the rumors he's heard, that there's going to be a contract, or not a contract, but an announcement about Fanatics buying Panini at the end of October. So I wouldn't look for Prism till at least after, it's probably going to be November at best, the way things are going.
To me, though, it's like, isn't it just business as usual? You don't stop making your products
Mm-hmm.
because you're being bought. Like, you're being bought, you continue to make what you have because you still have to have that income. Now, granted, they don't live paycheck to paycheck or whatever, product to product. But why is there a stoppage? Like, if you're closing I see the stoppage because you don't want to promise things that aren't going to be delivered. But I don't understand why nothing's being listed right now.
So unless maybe they're in talks and some of the stuff's so I when you're talking about it, I'm thinking, all right, I'm buying the company or any company. It's like, okay, when you're doing that either due diligence or whatever, it's like, all right, what's in the pipeline? What makes sense? What do we want to change? Because I was just thinking when you're thinking about that, like tops, they cut Heritage, and I don't know if they cut Update and or they cut Allen and Ginter. So I can see that as okay. Some of the new influence of the company. And usually, it's not gonna be from day one. There's gonna be an overlap because there needs to be a organized transition. Fanatics has the money and is buying these companies, but the expertise lies at Tops, lies at Panini. You know, what's in what closet and who does what and what printers we
Right.
use and what paper and what the just even the procurement of stuff and doing the boxes. I mean, if you think about it, and I know we all know this, but folks listening or watching, I mean, to do a card set is a is a lot of work. You have it's just not the cards, it's cards, it's the cellophane for wrapping the cards, the boxes, the pack outs, uh, the boxes that are going to contain the cases that are going to contain the boxes. They ought to be the right sizes, and all those boxes need to be built. If you ever open a Chronicles box or whatever, or Prism box, there's a liner that goes inside of the box where the packs fit into. So it's just there's a lot that goes to it.
Hmm. And
So
let me throw this in here on all this. They're talking about Friday being a possible railway workers strike. So, holy
Yeah.
crap, what is that going to do to the supply chain as a whole? Not just the microcosm of cards, but everything. It's going to definitely affect cards. So now, are they not going to be able to get stuff? They're already having trouble getting stock and getting all these things. It's just going to amplify that even more.
yeah, I don't know if you. I was reading some of that about the railway. The dr- the union reps have refused the offer. It comes down to attendance. They want to make sure the I guess the train companies want more notice before taking unscheduled vacations and stuff like that, and the workers want to be able to take any day off at any time. So um, there's a disagreement there. So I don't know if that's going to get resolved Friday. So
So yeah,
it's a,
just throw that into the mix of card product releases and everything else that's going on. It's just going to really screw up things even more.
yeah. Just I always say, just when you think you got to figure it out, things change.
Hmm.
Well, and not to look too far ahead, but for 2022, there's Prism and then National Treasures still, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Technically, that's what everybody's expecting. So um, it might not be in 2022. It might be in early 23. So we'll see what happens. And I didn't want to spend a bunch of time on it, but there are a lot of pieces to this, this puzzle right now. So it's interesting for sure.
Well, Chronicles just kind of hit a few weeks ago, so we can enjoy that. I've seen that looks like the price dropped to like 125 over on Steel City. So also for those that might want to buy some of the Turbo Attacks, the 24 pack box, Steel City has those for 59.95. They are on sale. I think they're 43 something in the UK, but again, those are pounds, and then you have to pay shipping to the US and then the VAT tax. So
So Val, did you say you saw some TurboTax in the store? Or-
I did. One of the friends of the show, and a shout out to Matt, where he found some tins of TurboTax, and then I went to my local Walmart, but they had the box of packs, kind of like what Steel City has, a 24-pack box. I didn't. I tried to scan it, and the Walmart scan said no such item found. So, uh, but I did not pick up any. I might have to go back and grab a couple. But part of me doesn't want to even touch it because of the whole now signature style cards that we talked about before, when they said there was going to be for the first time autographs, and they turn out to be facsimile autographs. So
Signature style.
yeah, so I'm kind of not too happy with them, but I don't know. It's tempting. So we'll see if I cave in or not. But
Yeah, I
part of
still
me
got
is,
mine. I haven't even opened them up yet.
yeah, same here. So, but I know we're running late here.
Um, one thing that and trust me, we're not being sponsored by Pristine Auctions, but something I did notice, it was on Twitter. You guys may have seen it, but Pristine Auctions has 30% off of all their NASCAR trading cards. And they have a lot of autographs. Like they have some Ty freaking Gibbs rookies that are autographed and things like that. But they've got 30% off if you use the code NASCAR at checkout. So you might want to check it out. You might find something you like.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. Anything else?
No, I mean I had some other things, but I think we'll save that for when we do what we were going to do tonight that we didn't do. If that makes any sense.
Yep, understand. All right, so I guess now we just need to cue the music.
Cue the music. All right. This is one of those weeks in King's Court where I had to do another honorable mention just because I thought this card was really cool. So we're going to start out with our honorable mention. Was from 9/11. It's a Dale Earnhardt Sr. 1997 scoreboard authentic autograph. Uh, it was up for bidding. It only had one bid, but it went for $399 for that. And the reason I've got this on here is I really like that autograph. It's nice and bold. Um, it's just a nice looking card. So I thought that was really neat. And $399 for a certified card from the manufacturer that's a pretty hefty price. Because we saw some at the National that were like, how much were they, Val? They were a couple $100, I think, for ones that weren't slabbed.
Yeah.
So this is a little high. So somebody paid up for this.
Yeah, I always try to go by the PSA rule, where just quickly, if you have a card from 1998 or more current, that it does not need to go through the autograph authentication. You can just, they are assuming, or they are confident that that autograph is real. But anything
Mhm.
prior to 98, you need to go through the double service. You need to get the autograph authenticated and then get the card authenticated. So I'm really kind of leery on anything pre 98. Um, so with that said, I'm like I said, I always am hesitant, or need to kind of look. The only thing I notice on this is that the loop where it goes over
Yep.
the gloss, I guess, it has not adhered to it. So that's my only thing for that. But it is pretty thick and bold, other than that piece there. So
Yeah, I missed that. I did not see that because I didn't zoom in on it like you did, so I did not really see that.
yeah, no problem. But again, we've said it before. It seems like Earnhardt Senior stuff, autographs. They're getting a lot of hobby love right now, which is
Yeah,
awesome
yeah, it's pretty
and
hot.
and deserved. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so next up is the Joker of the week, and I thought this was super nifty and cool and groovy and all of that. This was also from 9/11. It's a 1953 Juan Manuel Fangio card, and I don't know if I can pronounce this correctly or not. It's Figurita Bicicleta F1 card. They were asking $3,750 for this. Of course, this is maybe his rookie. I don't know because we keep finding new stuff every day. But they accepted a best offer for that card of $2,500.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
and,
impressive.
and look how primitive that looks. I mean, you got to think that's 1953. You know, it's down. It's from I guess it's from South America, and it's an incredible card. I mean, I like discs anyway. I'm a big disc fan, so that's one of the things that caught my eye on this. But yeah, $2,500 for that. That was
Wow.
makes me want to go to these other countries and put ads in the paper and start buying all these soccer and Formula One cards.
Yeah, that's pretty. I have the same thought. It's like, yeah,
'Cause,
take a week off and go over there and check out garage sales and other stuff. So,
yeah, you could
So,
stock up.
have either of you heard of this guy?
Oh yeah, Juan Manuel Fangio. Yes.
Okay, so I've never heard, and I just looked it up, and it said he dominated F1 the first decade, won the drivers' championship 5 times.
Yep.
So, because I was a little befuddled on the price. Granted, it's older, but it's the 50. So, but now I'm putting two and two together. So, just curious.
Yeah, to me, he's probably a greater driver than, and some people will probably blast me for this, but I think he's a greater driver than Lewis Hamilton, because I did a PSA. They interviewed me on who I thought was the greatest driver in F1, and he was my pick. It was Juan Manuel Fangio, and Lewis Hamilton's a really close second, but I think he is the greatest. So, all right. So let's move on to our Jack of the Week. This is on the 9th of September, 2021 Topps Dynasty F1 Lando Calrissian Norris. It's a race used patch auto, and it's number 10 of 10. And it went out for bidding, and it went for $1,239 with 40 bids. So, there you go. There's one of those cards, Val, that is cheaper than what you would pay for the box.
yes,
And
yeah,
it's a bigger name.
2021. Yeah. I think he's behind Max and Lewis and Russell, Leclerc, and that. Yeah. To your point, Logan, you could. Well, it's like buy two of them for the price of a box. So,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
And I think these prices, as we have documented already, have come down. I think that a year and a half ago, or a year ago, or whatever, this card is probably twice that price or more. But prices have come back to earth, and I think this is probably a reasonable price. Maybe it's I still think it's a little high. I still think that the dynasty boxes are high, but that's just me. But overall, it's a nice card. I mean, he's got a nice auto.
Yeah, it's a nice auto, nice
Yeah,
patch or whatever it is. It's you can kind of I guess figure it out, or Jason will be able to figure it out here.
yeah. I didn't see that. What looked like might be that patch on his uniform that they're showing there, unless it's on that red underneath the Pirelli.
Yeah, under the sleeve. Yeah.
Yeah, on the sleeve, but it's blurred out, so it's hard to see.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a pretty cool card. So next up is our Queen of the Week. This was also on 9/11. Had a lot of stuff on 9/11. 2020 Chronicles Haley Deegan Titan Gold Vinyl Prism True 1 of 1 card, and it went out for bidding as well. It went for $281.76 with 20 bids.
So this is 2020 Chronicles.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the new Chronicles. It's 2020 Chronicles. Of course, we don't have Titan this year. Boo. I'm kind of crying over that one.
I was just looking at that 1 of 1 there, and
Yeah, go back to the front of it.
I was looking at the back, said something about Sally Ride, and
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I don't know if that's the way, with all those little dots, and they kind of look like print dots, but they're not. I think that's just the way that the Titan looks with the stars in the background.
yeah, I think you're right. That's why I was kind of looking at the back as well, because that right edge looks like black. If it's a little bit of border, I don't remember, but all I know is 2020 is Ty freaking Gibbs as well. So Chronicles.
Hey, going back to Lando, that patch is from the arm sleeve. It's an FX Pro patch.
Okay.
There you go. It's the X out of FX. All right, cool.
Yep.
I knew Jason would be on it.
That's right.
So we've got a crack team here at NasCard Radio.
That's right. You're not going to put anything past us. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty cool card. I like those gold vinyl cards. I think they look nice. And that, I'm especially, partial to Titan anyway. So I just thought that was a pretty neat card.
It's nice. Yeah, I like that with the planets in the background. It's definitely different, right, for her. Different pose for her. So it's got the rookie logo in it. It's Titan. 1 of 1.
So pretty cool. All right. Next up is our King. This is on the 12th of September. 1989 Max Racing. Dale Earnhardt rookie number 3. PSA 10. Pop 50. I remember when the very first one of those got graded, and everybody was going crazy about that. It got graded as a 10. But anyway, it's a Pop 50. They were asking $1,299.99. The best offer was $775 for that card.
Wow.
And, I'm looking at it, and to me, that card is a little bit off center. I think that top to bottom, it's off center. I mean, just a little.
Yeah. Maybe a smidge, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a little bit.
But if you
off
look
center.
at it, the edges look really nice, and I know Logan knows this. So, you have that dark orange up on the top. The back is green, which shows chipping pretty easily. You can kind of see some of that in the left there.
Yeah, it's got a little chipping on it.
Not too much, but considering like with the OPGs and stuff, so it's a tougher card. But again, if you listen to some earlier shows, the toolbox set is probably one of the better ones to get. The cards are really great shape. Centering is probably your only issue. So,
Isn't there an allowance for the centering that it can still be a 10? Can it be like 55-45 or something?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Which is annoying, but that's a 10 should be a 10. There should be no buts.
Yeah.
But again, this was kind of one of his first true rookie cards before the 88 got accepted the promo as his rookie card. So, but really nice card. And what do you say, 600 or 700?
775.
Yeah, it's almost $800.
Yeah, that's a pretty good price for that. I mean, there for the longest time they were hovering, at the $500 to $600 range. But then, of course, during the pandemic, they went through the roof.
Yeah, they went to what, 1,500.
Yeah.
Even then, this one's coming back down again with a pop of 50 something. But it's a pretty card.
Yeah,
that's one of the glam cards, I think, right? We said.
Yeah, this is one of our NASCAR Glamour cards for sure. All right, so next up is going to be our Ace of the Week, which is our 1 of 1. This was on the 13th of September. Chase Elliott, 2021 Panini National Treasures Goodyear fire suit booklet 1 of 1. It went out for bidding, and it went for $635. That's a pretty cool patch there.
Yeah, I was looking to see where the numbering was, but
What's funny is it's a 1 of 1, but you would think it might have been like a 1 of 2, and have the other part of the Goodyear on there on the other one, but
right on those, yeah.
it's still a nice patch. I like that patch. I don't know where it's at on his uniform. I'm sure it's trying to look and if we can see if it's on. I would think it's probably from his Napa uniform.
Because it's the Goodyear, and then it's also
Because it's got the blue and the yellow down at the
So
bottom.
it's right. It looks like it's right above the blue and the Napa, like the Napa, then the yellow, and then there's the blue. If you go up and to the left, it says UniFirst. Nope. Right
And
down, right below Valvoline. It's UniFirst, but it's a different color, so it must not be that driver suit.
Yeah, but keep in mind they have different suits, and
oh yeah,
they position the sponsor logos in different places, so it may not necessarily match that particular picture he's in.
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it does.
but that's going to be the location, though.
Yeah, I think so.
It's got the part of that, but then on the left hand side with the yellow and the blue too. So
Yeah, it's there. It's just different color. So
yeah,
it's just different.
Yeah,
Different. Same location, different suit.
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah,
Well, still nice. 635.
yeah. I think that's a good price. I think that's about right.
I'm really surprised with Chronicles that we didn't have a Prime Patches 1 of 1 instead of a National Treasures.
I
I
didn't
would
see
probably
one.
think. Yeah, I'm thinking next week. Probably the Chronicles will start popping up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking. Actually, I was really specifically looking for this year's Chronicles, and this was the best NASCAR 1 of 1 I saw.
I think all the prime patches are at Logan's house. All the boxes he's been
I
opening.
I'm glad you said it, not me.
don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, all right. So last but not least, our Royal Flush of the Week happened on 9/11. 2021 Topps Dynasty F1 Lewis Hamilton red patch auto out of 5. And it's graded a BGS 9.5 with a 10 auto. And it went for bidding too. And then look at the final price on this sucker, $8,600 with
Wow.
23 bids.
That one's an easy one.
Yeah,
Where that E came from.
Yep. Yeah, we know where that E came from. So, but he's got his famous Lewis Hamilton scribble on there. But hey, I would like to have a Lewis Hamilton autograph myself. That's one autograph I don't have. I've got all the NASCAR guys, but I certainly don't have a Lewis Hamilton auto.
Yeah, that's a nice, respectable price there. 8,600 for 2021. So
Yeah.
that's one of the ones where you buy the Dynasty box for 3,000, and you can almost triple your money there.
Yeah.
Score, goal. Yeah.
Yep. Nice. Lewis Hamilton, 7-time champion auto.
Yeah. What were the subgrades? Zoom in on those subgrades.
They're all 9.5s.
Wow. So I wonder what the average is. 9.5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was no 9s, no 10s. So yeah, it was a solid 9.5 at auto 10.
Yeah.
It's a solid card.
Yeah, it's a nice card. So congrats to whoever got that card.
Very nice.
But, so that is it. That's all I've got for this week's King's Court.
All right. I forgot to do it earlier in the show, but definitely wanted to thank new follower Tony Stacer. And also shout out to I Didn't Buy These, Race Dude, and Kevin Jeffrey for the great YouTube comments for last week's show. And also if you like the show, if you'll hit the like button. What I miss?
I'm just reading the comments. reading
Oh,
what you got.
gotcha. Please like, subscribe to the podcast or YouTube channel, and if you enjoyed the show, please give it a like to help others find the show. Again, we appreciate everybody hanging with us for this long, and we'll have some other good content coming next week with F1 off, but we have plenty of Bristol action, so. And from me and the guys, thanks for watching this week, and we will catch you next week. We are out of here.